Hello again. This is part two to the video I just made that was 5 minutes. I really thought I was going to sleep, but God's will be done because apparently I'm supposed to say some more things. Excuse me. In the first video that I made, I stated that there was a lot of things that he spoke to me, and I neglected to say some things that he had told me. And you can pray about this yourself; it's completely up to you. But I pray that you pray and that you test it and you challenge it with the Holy Spirit. But he told me that the 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 invading country that was going to come was going to actually be the ones that have the technology to insert these microchips. In these microchips, what they're going to do is they're going to download all of your digital information that you have from your credit card purchases to any other digital information that you may have, any stores that you may have been in. All of that's going to be in this new technology that is coming from the invading country. And then what Father says, he said he's going to do a literal tagging of the head. So what they're going to do is that microchip is not going to be in the back of the neck. They're going to have it on the front of the head. They're going to do a literal incision like we see in the scientific movies, and it's going to have a scanner, just like how they're scanning now. That's what Father said. He's preparing humans to be scanned the same way that they had scanned and documented their brothers and sisters now, so it will be with them. And then he said some people will also have it in their hand. And he explained to me, yes, in the scriptures it's talking symbolic, but it is also talking literal. It is also talking physical, because the sins of the nations were literal and physical and in real time. That's what he told me. So he said, here's what's going to happen when they scan you, when your new masters scan you. Let me get that right. When the new masters scan them, what's going to happen is all of the things that they put up on Facebook and YouTube and the other things that I just mentioned, Instagram, whatever, ping pong with Atari, whatever it was, it's going to be on that chip. That's what it said. It's going to have the information of who you were, what your political views were, if you had guns, all of that stuff. Just by a person can literally, like they check your temperature. He showed it to me. Like they check your temperature, they'll check all of your former political views, how you voted, um, everything. He said that also there was going to be an earthquake worldwide. And the interesting thing about this earthquake is that it's going to affect different places more severely than others. The earthquake is going to have a tremendous effect in Babylon, and what it's going to also do is it's going to open up some things that he himself had buried. It's going to open up information and real history. Everything that was written by man is going to be challenged by these documents, these stones that he's going to unearth. It's going to show the real identity of Eve. It's going to show the real identity of Adam, how they really, really looked. And also it's going to not unleash, but it's going to also reveal how there were blacks in America first, called the Olmecs. I think it's Olmecs. He told me this. This from God's lips to my ears. Everything I say to you, pray about. But he spelled it, and I'm sorry, it's either Omecs or Olmecs. But he told me that this group of Africans that he sent here to America in the Oregon region, he said in the Chicago region, these were Phoenicians. Yeah, these people were Phoenicians. I don't know the modern day name of Phoenicians, but that's the word that he used. They were Phoenicians, and they were from Phoenicia, someplace in Africa. And so anyway, he said that these people he sent, he gave them the know-how to get here to America. And then what had happened was they were stationed, or we were planted in the area of Las Vegas, California. Wherever you've seen hot springs is where they were. But because we had become arrogant, and we forgot, and in Oregon, something about Oregon, but because we forgot to give God the glory, and we forgot where our blessings were coming from. He had people from India, China, different people come into America, and they are the ones that wiped us out. Okay? The same thing that the white man did to them is actually what had happened with us. Everything I'm telling you, just ask God about. I'm telling you. And it makes sense because it makes you wonder, why are there black people in Mexico? Just all over the world. I'm not even giving this video to the word is to try to justify what I saw. I'm just telling you what God told me to say. That's all I can say. But he did say, like now it's like October, the end of October. He said in 2 months, the angel of death is going to be leaving America, but it has to finish its list. He said he actually has a list. The angel of death belongs to God, baby. Okay? Because life belongs to God. Every spirit goes back to God. Satan is not going to carry no spirit to God because he can't even touch our spirit. Okay, so when you die, you still got you still have to face God. Some of us before we die. Some of us before we die. Okay, so that's what he told me about the angel of death being in America, and he said if we are not aware enough or cognizant enough to pray and go, Lord, wait a minute, what's going on? You know, if we're not even on that level and we're playing around like those that are spiritually immature, and we don't want to ask God to tell us or reveal to us what we need to do to survive, then he said every single plague we will get. Every single plague we will get if we are not asking God who it is. And he said that's why in the scriptures it said by the time they realized that it was God that was plaguing them. Revelation chapter 16, Revelation chapter 17, Revelation chapter 18. And that's why he asked him, he said, if the mark of the wicked ones is 666 on their forehead, it meaning, what is the mark of the righteous? Of course, I didn't know. So he told me, the mark of the righteous is love. Love of who? Love of God first. If you love God first, you'll know how to love everybody else. So that was the other thing that I was supposed to tell you. Let me see. Did I get it right? The monkeys. Okay, I said that in the other one about the animals going to be attacking people. And he told me this very important thing. He said, don't forget, Amina, to check your emotions, especially in the day of judgment, because our feelings, our thoughts, our mindsets, our reactions should not be that of the common folk. If the common folk are sad because of something else, something that happened, we should be finding out if it was an angel that caused that sadness, the angel of judgment. So trust God, trust the way that he's judging people. If you see some things going on and you pray and you ask, and it's an answer that's different from what you're expecting, but you know that the answer is righteous, you be prepared to adjust your mind. If you don't, you're going to get adjusted. Honestly, let us correct ourselves first. Let us keep our mind on things that are going to be upbuilding. Come on, y'all. Stop messing around with this Halloween. Y'all know it's bad. You know it's bad. I'll say it again. God had it revealed to me that it is it is infidelity for us to celebrate Halloween. What's wrong with y'all? The more every year that go by, everybody just relax their shit more. And God told me this. I'm so offended. But God told me this. I'm saying that, Amina. I'm saying I'm so offended because all that he does for us, and he sent his son to die for us so that we can be free, and we're going to go sell ourselves to that nigga for some chocolate. We're going to surrender to him. I want my kids to dress up. Yes, and when you dressing them up, you taking off their identity, their destiny that God has given them because they were made in God's image, and you've given them a pseudo image. And that's what the whole different costumes are about, is the different forms that Satan manifests himself in as humans. Come on, is it that? Wake up. And this is what he told me. He said he's approaching this like this, especially with the Babylonians, because you guys are setting the examples for people around the world. He said he approaching it like this, like a married man. He said a married man would not tolerate another man's hand on his wife's breast, behind, or any other part that he is considered his. If his woman continues to let another man touch her, and she invites it all the time, once a year at least, and she's been doing it for years, he rejects that woman. He puts her away because she's proven time after time unfaithful. You guys are unfaithful. You are not Christians. You are not Christians. If it's anything about Halloween you like, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die. If your man go around touching everybody and everything, and you see it and you say, hey, I don't like this, and he continues, how long you going to keep that man? How long you think God's going to keep us? He ain't. That's why we're dying. We're dying. We're dying. I ain't trying to get into no rant, but I'm just saying, if you got some people around you and they're not even interested in you living, and they are doing actions to kill you, you have a right to fight for your life. Fight for your life, man. But don't do the Halloween. If you don't believe me, go ahead and let your kids trick or treat. 3 or 4 days after you trick or treat, you're gonna have some demonic activity in your house. Happy Halloween. If you get that mark on you, you getting what you get. You celebrate Halloween, watch what happened in this earthquake. You're gonna lose everything. And don't say no bullshit. If I would have known, I'm telling you now. Those of you who know me, you should be really praying. Those who don't know me and think I'm joking and think it's a joke, no. Okay. All right. That's now. I'm gonna try to go to sleep. I'm gonna try to go to bed, y'all. Okay. You are who you worship. You are who you worship. You are who you worship.